Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, welcome to the deep dive.
We're really glad you're here with us today.
Yeah, so today we're kind of embarking on this journey, right alongside you, and focusing on what it really needs to grow as individuals.
And also how to build relationships, the kind that genuinely, nourish us.
That's right. Think of this as your maybe personal shortcut to understanding how you can consciously shape a life that's filled with purpose.
And connections that really matter.
Exactly.
We're your hosts for this. I'm Bea
And I'm Max.
And I'm a certified life and mindset coach. I've spent years helping people, particularly women who are navigating life's second chapter, helping them break free from what holds them back, really, and step into their power.
And from my side, I'm fascinated by how we connect, not just with partners, though that's huge, but also with ourselves.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all about creating those strong, safe spaces.
Yeah.
Inside and out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. You know that feeling, right? That huge sigh of relief when you finally close the door, you're alone, the day's over.
Yeah.
And you can just stop. Stop being someone for a minute. That quiet moment, maybe putting your feet up. It's like you could finally drop something heavy.
That feeling isn't just random, though. It's actually a really telling clue about how much we carry around, doesn't it?
Totally.
What's really fascinating about that moment of relief is what it signals about the different versions of ourselves we show the world.
Right, like different outfits for different occasions.
Exactly. Think about it. You navigate so many spaces. Work, family gatherings, drinks with friends. And in each one, we subtly, sometimes really obviously, adjust how we show up. So what we really want to dig into today is this whole idea of the masks we wear, the social face, the role you play in your family, that professional persona.
Yeah.
And maybe more importantly, why, especially as we get into our 40s and beyond, figuring out who we are underneath all that becomes so, so crucial for our well-being, really.
Absolutely. Because by our 40s, life often feels like this incredibly complex tapestry, doesn't it?
It really does.
You're juggling careers, maybe raising kids, supporting aging parents, trying new things. There's just so many layers of responsibility, expectations, stuff others put on us, sure, but also the stuff we put on ourselves.
Big time.
So the real sort of mission for this deep dive, I think, is getting to that core question. Who are you when nobody's watching?
Yeah.
Not the job title, not mom or dad or partner, not even your hobbies, but just the raw, unfiltered, unscripted you.
And that immediately brings up a really critical point, doesn't it? How much does what we project actually line up with what's going on inside? Because from day one, practically, we start soaking up messages about what's okay, what gets us praised, what helps us fit in with the crowd, whatever crowd that might be.
Oh, definitely. Even as little kids.
Psychologists sometimes talk about ego states, basically, different patterns of feeling, thinking, behaving that we learn and sort of switch between.
That's a really useful way to think about it. Think back to school. You probably got rewarded for being agreeable, right? Polite, organized.
Saying please and thank you.
Yeah, being the good kid.
Yeah.
In school itself, so much pressure to just blend in, don't stick out too much.
And then bam, you hit the working world and suddenly it's all about projecting confidence, competence, always having the answer. It's often seen as non-negotiable.
So true.
And the natural result of all that conditioning is we start to maybe hide certain parts of ourselves, those more authentic impulses that maybe don't fit the mold.
Like what kind of thing?
Things like really pushing back and saying no clearly, or setting firm boundaries without feeling guilty, or even just owning your slightly weird interests or unconventional opinions, maybe.
Yeah, the quirks.
Exactly. That deep human need we all have to connect to be accepted, it plays a huge part here. We learn, sometimes consciously, sometimes not, what seems to build those connections and what might, put them at risk.
It really does shape us. So maybe let's make this personal for everyone listening for a second. Think about people whose opinion really matters to you. Your boss, maybe certain friends, family members. How do you find yourself acting around them? Do you ever notice yourself like tweaking your language or your opinions? Maybe even how enthusiastic you sound, just to kind of match their energy.
It's a subtle thing sometimes.
It can be. And what parts of yourself do you tend to keep under wraps? Maybe because you're afraid people won't get it or they'll judge you.
That fear of judgment is powerful.
It is. And here's a kicker. If you could act completely, authentically you, without worrying about anyone else's reaction,
Yeah.
what might you do differently?
Wow. Yeah.
Where do you feel like you're kind of playing a role, even if it's just a little bit?
That's a great reflection point. And building on that, on those learned ways of being, there's also what we could call our family script or the family mask.
Yes, the family dynamics.
Right. It comes from all those repeated interactions, the unspoken rules, the patterns in your family growing up. And often, without us ever consciously deciding, we just sort of step into a role.
Like being typecast in a play you didn't audition for.
Kind of. Maybe you were always the strong one, the rock. Everyone leaned on you.
Or maybe the opposite, the peacemaker. Always
Yeah.
smoothing things over, avoiding conflict at all costs.
Exactly. Or the responsible one. Or maybe the easy one, the one who never caused any trouble.
It's amazing how many people instantly recognize those roles when you list them.
It is, isn't it? And like you said, these aren't roles we usually choose. They just sort of develop as ways to navigate that early environment, really.
Survival strategies almost.
Absolutely. Maybe being strong got you noticed, got you respect. Maybe being the peacemaker felt safer if there was tension between parents.
Or maybe just quieting your own needs, your own feelings, felt like the only way to get love or approval in that specific family setup.
Precisely. And these patterns become so deeply ingrained. And here's where it gets really tricky, I think. Those familiar patterns, those roles we played for so long, they can start to feel like, well, like they are us, our actual personality.
Oh, that's just how I am. I'm
Yeah.
just a people pleaser, or I'm just not very emotional.
Exactly. We genuinely believe it. But often they're just really well-practiced responses that helped us cope back then. They aren't necessarily the whole truth of who we are now.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? So for you listening, what was your role in your family? Were you the dependable one, the funny one, the rebel,
Yeah.
the little parent?
And think back, how were emotions handled? When you showed vulnerability as a kid, what happened?
Yeah.
Did you learn maybe it was better to hide certain feelings? Sadness, anger, fear? And if you did, who were you hiding them from and why? What message did that send you?
And especially for women, there are often these deeply embedded ideas absorbed from the family about what being a woman means, what's expected. Do those old ideas still fit the woman you are today, or feel like someone else's clothes?
That's a powerful question. Then, okay, we grow up, we move into our careers, maybe start businesses, and bam, another layer often gets added. The professional persona.
I like a business mask.
The whole pursuit of success, climbing the ladder, building something. Sometimes that journey can create quite a gap between our real selves and the image we need to project.
It feels like there's this unspoken pressure, often, doesn't it? To constantly show up as totally competent, always decisive, super productive, like you have to have it all figured out.
Always on, always delivering, always leading, even if you feel uncertain inside.
Right.
But that leads to a really crucial question. How much does that business self, that persona, actually match who you are when the external stuff fades?
What do you mean that, like when the validation isn't there?
Exactly. When there are no clients watching, no performance reviews on the horizon, no urgent emails pinging, when it's just you, does that professional use still feel like the real you?
That's a really vital check-in.
Yeah.
Do you ever catch yourself feeling like you need to be constantly achieving just to feel like you're worthy?
Or that you have to keep giving, producing, serving in your work just to earn your place or feel like you belong?
Yeah, that underlying hum of needing to prove something.
And what can be a really tough, but honestly quite liberating thing to realize is that sometimes this carefully built professional identity, it's kind of like armor.
Protecting something underneath?
Yeah. It's a strategy for getting by, for succeeding in a potentially competitive world. And beneath it might be someone more vulnerable, maybe more intuitive, maybe even a bit more uncertain, but ultimately much more authentic.
That really resonates. So thinking about your own path, your career, your business, can you pinpoint times when you felt like you were maybe losing touch with your internal compass, getting swayed by external pressures? What qualities did you find yourself emphasizing, maybe even faking a little, because they seem like the right ones for success in your field?
Playing the part.
Exactly. And do you ever get that fear? That fear of slowing down, taking a real break, stepping back? Because you worry you'll somehow just disappear, become irrelevant.
Oof. Yeah, that fear can be intense.
What does that fear tell you about where your sense of identity is coming from? Is it too tied to the doing?
Good question. And then imagine this. If you could redesign your workday, how you lead, how you operate, based purely on your genuine self, your energy levels, your values, your true style, not on what the market or your boss or your industry seems to demand, what might that actually look like?
Wow, big question.
It is. Which brings us nicely to this really crucial space, those moments when no one is watching.
Ah, yes, the core of it.
These are like gold dust, really. Those glimpses of our most authentic selves, the times when we feel genuinely free from judgment, other people's judgment, and maybe even our own inner critic takes a break too.
Okay, so I really want to encourage you listening to take a quiet moment, maybe later today, and reflect honestly. Can you describe a specific time, even a tiny one, when you felt completely, utterly yourself? Just authentic, free, no filter, no worrying about what anyone thought. What were you actually doing? What did it feel like inside? Who were you in that unguarded moment?
And maybe tied to that, think about what parts of yourself, what desires, what interests, maybe even what feelings do you tend to keep hidden from the world?
Yeah.
What are those things you secretly wish you could express more openly, more fully?
And here's where it can get really interesting. What's the one aspect of yourself you feel most afraid or hesitant to show people?
The vulnerable spot.
Maybe. But could it be possible that that very thing, the thing you hide, could actually hold a key to your greatest strengths, your most unique contribution?
It's often the case, isn't it? The thing we fear reveals our power.
It can be.
Yeah.
And finally, just try this little exercise. If you had to pick just one word,
Yeah.
or maybe an image that pops into your head, or even just a short phrase that truly captures who you are underneath it all.
Without the mask.
Exactly. Without the masks.
Yeah.
What would that be? Just let it surface. Don't overthink it. See what comes up for you in a quiet moment. So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, let's come back to that question we started with. Who are you underneath all those layers you've built up over the years?
It's just so important to remember, isn't it, that these masks we've talked about, the social one, the family one, the professional one, well, they probably served a real purpose at some point.
Yeah. They helped us cope, adapt.
Right. They aren't the whole you. They're coverings, adaptations, survival tools, maybe.
And what's underneath those coverings is often something much more real, maybe a bit wilder, definitely more genuine, and ultimately just so much more valuable.
Yeah. The invitation is always open, for every single one of us to gently, curiously start exploring who we really are when we can let those external pressures fall away, even just for a little while.
So what might you discover? What might change if you allowed yourself to be truly seen? Starting with letting yourself see you.
Okay, so welcome back. We've spent some time today digging into this whole idea of a personal revolution.
Yeah, and it's maybe not what you first think.
Right.
Not some huge overnight thing.
Exactly. It's more about seeing growth, seeing change as just constant, always happening, a part of life.
And look, if you're listening to this, chances are you're already, on some kind of path.
You're probably aiming for something, or maybe just trying to figure things out a bit more.
Or even just wanting like a bit more meaning day to day. It all counts.
So, yeah, as we kind of wrap things up here, the big thing to hold on to, I think, is that this process, this personal revolution stuff we talked about,
It doesn't really stop.
it really does it. Every single day kind of throws up new angles, new opportunities to learn something or shift a little.
For sure. And if anything we discussed today kind of clicked for you.
Sparked an idea.
Yeah,
Huh.
exactly.
Yep.
Or maybe made you want to actually do something, then, run with it. Keep that feeling going.
Absolutely. And hey, if you are looking for like more regular nudges or practical thoughts on this,
Keeping that growth going.
yeah, keeping it going. We genuinely love it if you subscribed, follow along.
That way you won't miss out when we explore other stuff too. And honestly, we really do appreciate it when you share these chats or leave a review.
Oh, definitely. It seriously helps other people find this, people who might get something out of it too.
Plus your feedback. Always good to hear what lands.
Totally. Now, okay, if you're feeling like taking maybe a more focused step
Like something specific.
Yeah, particularly around, say, understanding your relationships a bit better. We actually have a free quiz for that.
Ah, right. The quiz, the link's in the description for this deep dive, right?
Yep, right there in the description.
And it's pretty quick, yeah. It's designed to maybe just help you spot some of the patterns.
The underlying stuff, yeah, and how you connect with people.
Right. And maybe show you where even like tiny shifts could actually make a real difference.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing sometimes, isn't it? Just pausing for that kind of reflection can suddenly light up things you just hadn't seen before. It's all part of that revolution we're talking about.
It is. So, yeah, don't hesitate. Go check out the quiz if that sounds useful.
The link's right there for you.
And just remember, this whole journey, this personal growth path, your personal revolution, it's happening inside you.
Every day.
Every single day. It unfolds from within.
Well said. Thanks so much for diving deep with us today.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.